Goffstown Select Board meeting. Could you all please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And tonight we have Selectman Adams joining us by phone, so we're going to do a roll call. Collis?
Hi, good evening. This is Collis Adams. I regret I can't be with you in person tonight, but I'm joining you remotely via telephone. I am in my home office, and there is no one else present with me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
We're all here. Okay, so up first we have the acceptance and correction of minutes from the February 12th, 2024 public and non-public minutes.
I'll make a motion, we take the February 12th, 2024 public and non-public minutes with corrections if need be.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Jim. Any questions, comments, or corrections? There'll be a roll call vote. Collis?
Yes.
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 Great, thank you. And for announcements this evening, the first up is the supervisors of the checklist. The supervisors of the checklist will be in session at Town Hall at 16 Main Street, Goffstown, New Hampshire, on Saturday, March 2nd, 2024, downstairs in room 109 from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the purpose of making corrections to the voter checklist and for new voter registration in advance of the town election on March 12th, 2024. Name, address, and party affiliation changes can be made at this time. In accordance with RSA 654:12, those registering to vote must show a government-issued photo ID, documentation showing date of birth and residence address, and proof of citizenship such as birth certificate, passport, or naturalization papers unless the voter has previously registered to vote in New Hampshire. Any persons with a disability who needs to be provided with reasonable accommodations to participate, please call Town Hall at 603-497-8990, extension 100, at least 72 hours in advance so that arrangements can be made. Any other announcements? Yep.
I would just like to mention that, and I think you did also attend the play at the high school in Missouri. It was outstanding.
It was.
Kids did a really great job. I just wanted to make a mention of that.
Yes, it was very good. Theater department did a great job, and special shout out to Derek's son, Caleb, who did. Was that his last show?
No, he's only a junior, so.
Oh, okay. So thankfully we have one more year of his wonderful.
The entire group did a very nice job.
Yeah, no, they did great. Okay, we have a few minutes before public comment, but in the essence of, I'll call Tina up from Goffstown Main Street Program. I know she's here to present something.
So I come to present this wonderful award for Best Decorated Pumpkin that, yes, happened in October of last year. It's a long, funny story, but it's been a lot of miles in my car, and at one point, it spent so many miles that it sort of came apart and then was hidden and buried. But anyways, it's here, it's ready to display, and I hope you had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun watching you.
Yes, thank you. We always love being part of the Pumpkin Regatta, and it's always very fun for me to be able to decorate a pumpkin. So although it might have been out of sympathy for my boat not paddling very well, I certainly appreciate the award. And the select board will find somewhere to display it here at Town Hall. So thank you very
And I'll come back
much.
and get it this October, so see who gets it the next time.
Great.
We're keeping it.
Thank you, Tina.
very much.
Derek, would you like to start on the town administrator's report, please?
Yes, at tab 6A, you have your committee meeting assignments for the next 2 weeks. Wednesday at 7 p.m. Conservation Commission will meet here in this room.
Yes, I have that covered.
Thank you. Next Monday, 6 p.m., you have a brief a meeting for the dedication of the annual report, and there may be a few business items, but we'll keep it relatively short. Next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m., Village Bridge Ad Hoc will meet at Parks and Rec Center at 6:30 p.m.
Yes, I have that covered.
Wednesday of next week, 6 p.m., Economic Development Council.
Yeah, I got it.
6:30 p.m., the library trustees will meet.
Yep. I'll be there.
At your next page, you have your consent agenda. You have an employee status report for a full-time firefighter for successful completion of probationary period and AEMT license. And you also have an event permit for the Rotary Club Car Show on June 1st from 9 to 2 p.m. at Parsons Drive in North Mass, the cemetery field.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Peter, seconded by Jim. And we'll do a roll call vote. Any questions or comments? Okay, Collis?
Yes.
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 Great, thank you.
At your next page, you have assessor's recommendations. You have a veteran's tax credit for the 2023 tax year. He recommends approval for map 6, lot 22-27. Elderly exemption for 2023 tax year. A denial is recommended for map 6, lot 22-27. And a tax abatement for the 2023 tax year. Approval is recommended for map 6, lot 22-27. You have elderly exemptions. This is for 2024 with recommended approval. Map 41, lot 27, map 1, lot 6, map 7, lot 91, map 20, lot 4, map 3, lot 37C3-307, map 6, lot 17B-133, and map 9, lot 58-3-B. You have elderly exemption and veterans tax credit for the 2024 tax year. Approval recommended for map 38, lot 44, and map 6, lot 22-66. You have a solar exemption for 2024. Approval recommended for map 16, lot 184. You have veterans tax credit for 2024. Approval recommended for map 6, lot 22-49, map 6, lot 60-2. And map 4, lot 12. And then late Friday afternoon, after we put the packet together, we got a tax abatement approval recommended for map 6, lot 22-50.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a question, Derek, and you may or may not be able to answer this, not sure. But if you go up this, a tax abatement for the tax year 2023,
Yes,
which is recommended for approval,
yes.
why wouldn't that be on the 24?
So the abatements we're getting in because the abatements come in for 2023 because we just finished the 2023.
Okay.
They have until, I don't want to misquote, it's either March 1st or March 15th, I can never remember which, but for their second tax bill last fall. So that even that last abatement that was added as well, that was for 2023 as well.
Good.
Yep.
Motion to approve the assessor's recommendation is presented this evening.
Second.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Jim. Any questions or comments? Okay, Collis?
Yes.
Yo.
Yes.
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 Thank you.
At your next tab 6D, page 5, once again, the state of New Hampshire, the Department of Justice has negotiated separate settlements with 5 companies related to their conduct during the opioid crisis. 3 of these companies are major pharmacy chains, CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, and 2 of them are opioid manufacturers, Teva and Allergan. As you may recall from about a year and a half ago, when we joined in with the state on these settlements, state law in New Hampshire prevents towns or political subdivisions from receiving settlement funds for these opioids. They actually go into a fund that is controlled by the Department of Justice, and then they give out grants to individual communities. Because we are a municipality with more than 10,000 people, those 5 companies have sought requested as part of the settlement that they get a certain percentage of large communities to agree to the settlement, so that they know that when they settle with the state of New Hampshire, they won't have smaller political subdivisions coming after them as well. So this is very similar to the opioid settlement that you did in the fall of 2022. And would just be requesting an opt-in as well as to authorize the select board chair to sign. There's 5 documents in your packet.
Motion to have the town of Goffstown opt into the state settlement with CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Teva, and Allergen, and authorize the select board chair to sign on behalf of the town.
I'll second that, but I have a question.
Go ahead.
Thank you. In the stuff in the packet, it says that we're eligible to apply for some of that money. I don't know that we've ever done that, and is there anyone that, is there a need? I can't imagine there's not a need for opioid treatment or education. Do we have anybody that's keeping an eye on that, or?
Not that I've heard of, but what I can do is this week I can send notice to the SAU, the police department, and the fire department, just make them aware of this fund. The Goffstown has not sought grant funds through this, but I can definitely share that information to get that word out.
Good, thank you.
Please research it to see if there's something we can get.
I think there is. I looked at a little bit in the education and, you know, as long as I was thinking the Crispin's House, but that's not part of
Not town, right?
town, right?
Okay, so we had a motion by Pete, second by Jim. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, Collis?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Great, thank you. And at this time, we'll go ahead and take a pause for public comment. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak for public comment? Okay, seeing none, we will close public comment. Thank you. We are on tab E.
Yes, tab 6E, you have a memo from the DPW director. This is an annual request to shift the DPW work schedule from 5 8-hour days to 4 10-hour days. Again, this provides for fewer mobilization and demobilization, so they actually have a little bit more time on the site. And they've been doing this for many, many years, so you have that request from the DPW director again.
Motion to approve DPW summer construction season schedule as proposed.
Second.
Motion by Peter, seconded by Mark. Any questions or comments? Roll call, Collis?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
And then at tab 6F, you have a request from Eversource. They're seeking a temporary access permit to allow heavy equipment to access. They're doing pole replacement on the line near Greg's Falls, and they would need to use a portion of the town's rail trail to access. And I know we have a representative from Eversource if the board has any questions on that.
The only question I always have, any damage would be repaired by Eversource, right?
Yeah, so we talked with the Parks and Rec director,
Sorry.
David Pierce.
Come on up.
Sorry.
And then if you can just say
Yeah.
your name, Donald, please.
Donald Stokes, Community Relations with Eversource Energy. Yeah, we work on the F-126, 162 structural replacement line. We had a meeting with the Recreation Director and David Pierce from the Goffstown Friends of the Rail Trail. Come up with a plan to basically restore anything that we damaged. So we're going to be putting down matting as we're going through the rail trail to reach structure 4. After that, David Pierce gave us the specs for the gravel to use for the rail trail. We're going to use that same gravel during our restoration plan once we're finished with that structure.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Is there anything in writing saying that you're gonna, who's gonna fix anything if there's damage or anything? Or is that just a verbal
I think
right
that's
now?
in the temporary access permit. It's in your packet,
Okay.
but it talks about who's responsible. And then there's also an exhibit just showing where
Right, I saw.
structure number 4 is in relation to the rail
Yeah,
trail.
yeah, okay, thank you.
And historically, Jim, we've had a really good relationship with them, so if we come back and we say like, hey, we noticed this, they've usually been very quick to help us out with anything that we see after the
Good,
fact.
that's good,
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
also offered to do like another walkthrough once it's all done and everything like that with David Pierce, Rick, to like just review anything, and if there's anything we need to do, we'll do that.
Okay. I'm done. Nothing personal, I just wanted
No, it's a
to
good
say
question.
that, you know? So,
That's fine.
okay.
Anyone else?
Motion to approve temporary access permit and authorize the chairwoman or designee to sign.
Second.
Motion by Peter, seconded by Mark. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, Collis?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
All right, next up, Danielle. Going to come up and speak on the auditor's report. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good morning.
So before you, you each have a copy of the full audit report for the year ending 12/31/22, as well as some additional documents that we provided to the board to supplement the full report. The memo that you see on top, I'm going to go over, that's really just the rough overview. So the financial audit for the year ending 12/31/22 was completed by the independent auditing firm, Plodzik & Sanderson. This is a new firm for us. Previously, our audits were completed by Melanson and Heath, which then became Melanson. But last year, when we went out to bid, Plodzik & Sanderson won the bid. The governance letter was provided in your packet. That is an addendum to the audit report, which explains the scope of the internal controls testing and the results of the testing, any significant risks that were identified, accounting estimates and adjustments that were made during the audit, as well as identifies areas of improvement for those that are charged with governance to consider. So the auditors presented 6 items for improvement, which were detailed in the email that was sent out to the board. And as far as the audit itself, there were no concerns with our accounting methods or significant accounting policies. The assumptions used in the financial reporting were determined to be reasonable. The financial statement disclosures were considered to be neutral, consistent, and clear. There were no unusual transactions identified, and the adjustments made during the audit were considered to be routine in nature. The governance letter included a 2-page summary at the end of the letter that shows all the adjustments that the auditors made for reporting purposes, and that includes restatements or regrouping of the accounts. In addition to the regular audit, we had a single audit this year, and that's because we brought in more than $750,000 in federal grants in 2022. So we were subject to the single audit per the federal rules. During the audit, they did issue 3 official findings. Those are summarized here. One was segregation of duties, one was deviations from the purchasing policy, and one was suspension and debarment testing. So I did provide a formal response to each of the findings as required by the audit process. That is included in your audit packet. So the bound copy has the findings at the end of it, and it starting on page 63. And then as an addendum at the end, it shows you the town's report in the appendix. It's called the corrective action plan. So that reviews each item specifically and the status of the item. So I will be coming forward to the board in the coming weeks to address those items. The corrective action plan requires under federal rule that we give a date of completion for those items.
Great, that's what I was going to ask. If there was any sort of implementation that we needed to assist with as far as getting these things moving, and then if so, you know, what you feel like would be best option. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
keep us informed.
For the items that were more informal in nature, that didn't result in official findings, most of those 6 items were actually already resolved as the status was provided to you in the email. There are a couple of them that were not yet resolved. One is the financial policies and procedures, which is a normal review recommended for every 3 to 5 years. That is in process, it's just not yet completed. So we'll be bringing forward more updates to you in '24. Some already came forward in '23. And then the chart of accounts, we're working with our software provider to see if they can come up with a solution. As it currently stands, we can't adjust the account segments that were created at the time the software was implemented. And we could build out new accounts, but we can't reuse any of the existing segments. And the problem with that is the state codes, which are the required point, need to remain. So until they can find a way for us to be able to reuse those portions, We have to kind of live with what we have, and we've provided the auditors with what they call a crosswalk, which details how the accounts tie together for reporting purposes. The accounting is still correct, it's just for ease of reporting. As for the formal findings, as I said, we'd be bringing forward some additional information to the board to consider to implement changes from those. The most significant, I believe, of the three is the deviation from the purchasing policy. We've been working throughout 2023 to come up with recommendations to the purchasing policy to make sure that it can be implemented in accordance with the best practices for the audit and the financial standards that we have to abide by, as well as operations for the town. So we do have a pretty significant change compiled there, but we want to review that with the department heads and make sure that it does work operationally and bring the recommendations to the board for discussion. So we expect that to be coming forward in the next month or two.
Were there any deficiencies left from last year that didn't get taken care of this year?
Well, this is a 2022 report, so by the time the findings came forward, such as these, deviations from the purchasing policy, we continued doing what we had been doing. So we do expect that that would be a repeat finding on 23, since the final report wasn't issued till 24. But the auditors are aware of that, and they understand that there needs to be time from the time we are notified of the issue to implement it.
But my question is though, if I go back to the 21 audit and look at those deficiencies.
No.
Everything's been taken care of, there's nothing that was moved forward.
No, yeah, especially since we changed auditing firms. They did review everything that the prior auditing firm had left, and they did not have any findings on those items.
Any other questions? Good job. Thank you. And yeah, we'll keep an eye out for those updates and try to help you guys make those changes as soon as we can.
I know it's a lot of information, so as you look over things, if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you. All right. All right, tab 8A.
That's the public hearing that's scheduled for 6:30.
Oh, sorry, I didn't go back to my index like I would do.
New business.
All right, tab 9. Derek, did you have any new business for us tonight?
I don't
Not on
have
the
any
agenda?
No, I don't
Okay.
have any new business.
All right, so the old business on the action matrix, the Goffstown Police Station item and the Village Pedestrian Bridge item, both with updates coming soon. The Village Pedestrian Bridge Committee is meeting on 3/5. And then equipment out of service. Derek, did you get any last minute updates on any of those?
No, this is most update as of Friday.
Okay. Anyone have anything to add for that? Okay.
We don't have 6 minutes.
Yep. Derek, I saw in our mailboxes that we had the hard copies of the voter's guide.
Yes,
When are those being mailed out, or have they already been?
they have been organized. They are all ready to go to the post office, so we're hoping they're going to go to the post office either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Okay, So maybe
And
by-
and so they'll also go up on the website as well.
great. So hopefully, maybe by the end of the week, if not early next week, people should see those.
Yeah, we're hoping
in the
they'll get the
mailboxes.
mailboxes over the weekend.
Great. And is there anything, I guess we could talk about the election right now.
So we did talk to the moderator and town clerk. Select board members are still able to work within the rail between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. They will ask you, it wouldn't be proper for members to be handling absentee ballots or anything regarding the ballots, but there are other duties that can be done. But at 7 p.m., both Selectman Craig and Selectman LeMay will not be able to be behind the rail. I did speak with at least one person, a former select board member, and he'd be willing to help out. And I've got another one to reach out to, see about helping with items at the end of the night, because we will need for securing the ballots and anything else related to the counting.
Okay, great. Is there anything else for election day that you need from us? aside
Not
from
yet,
a
nope.
Firm schedule?
I received a phone call today from Kathy Ball. I will be here March 4th for the ballots to do what we normally do for the ballots and get them ready. That's it. My first question to Kathy was, am I allowed to? And she said yes. I said, okay, fine. So I will
Yeah,
be-
thank you for volunteering for
yeah,
that.
I
It's
will
a
be
lot of
here.
work.
Yeah.
And Pete, do you have a preference for election day?
I'll be down for Bonneville.
Okay.
That's where I vote, so I might as well just be down there.
Great,
I'll be at the high school.
okay.
Collis, do you have a preference for election day, which poll that you're at?
Well, I usually serve at the high school, which is fine again this time.
Okay. Derek, would it be okay for us to have 2 and 2 at each location?
Yes, yeah, that's perfectly fine. And I know Selectman Craig was at the high school last time as well, so we could have Vice Chairman Georgianis and Selectman LeMay down in Pinardville. That'd be good. I think that worked out last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Still have 5 more minutes.
Yeah, have we thought any more about what they said with the Attorney General's office came in and said we had a parking issue and getting into the driveway, and have we had any more thoughts about potentially trying to fix that somehow?
Is this down at Bartlett?
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay for the town election, but as we prepare for, and even the state primary, we should be fine. But as we get ready for the presidential election, we need to work with Kathy and the moderator to come up with some other ideas for Bartlett. I know in the past, we've had workers, we've done shuttles for workers and some other stuff.
We've in the past also, the dollar store, Family Dollar, the dollar store across the street, they've allowed us to park on that certain far wall.
Billy Surratt's side.
Yeah, and I mean, we can ask again, that'll give us probably 15, 20 parking spaces to go and use, which will make it easier for the people that are coming in to vote.
We have a few more minutes, so I could start reading
You can start
slowly.
reading.
So tonight we have 2 public hearings. The first up is the proposed increase of park and recreation fees. Parks and Recreation Commission is recommending 2 changes to fees charged by the Parks and Recreation Department for programming. The first is for summer playground camp, and that would be an increase from $80 a week to $85 a week. And youth basketball increase from $60 for resident to $65 for residents.
No, 65 to 75.
It
Well,
says
that's what this
60. Oh, this is for resident and this is for non-resident. So
Right,
it's
I'm saying-
60,
Okay, I see
resident
what you're
from
saying.
60 to 65 for residents and 70 to 75 for non-residents.
Yep,
The select board voted to hold a public hearing on,
On your meeting on the 12th, not on the 26th. I'm
oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah,
I
February
was like, what? Although I wouldn't be surprised if I got the days wrong. So, announcement, pursuant to RSA 41:9-A, the Goffstown Select Board is holding this public hearing to access input, accept public input on the proposed update to Parks and Recreation fees on the town-wide fee schedule. Summer playground camp increased from $80 a week to $85 a week. And youth basketball increased from $60 for residents to $65 for residents, and $70 for non-residents to $75 for non-residents. So we still have a few minutes to open up the public comment, the public hearing. But we could entertain discussion at this point.
How many people in the summer playground program? Rick?
Rick, come on down. You want to come up,
Sure.
please?
We got a few minutes, let's pound them on a bunch of questions.
He's happy to be here.
Yes. I got my dinner made and I'm ready to eat when I get back.
So,
How many,
Mike, that was my question. How many are in the summer program normally?
you have about a total of 85 to 90 kids per week times 8 weeks.
That's together at both locations?
Yeah, it's adding both of them together, so, yeah. And then in our youth basketball, between first grade all the way through to high school, almost 480.
And Rick, the Parks and Rec commissioners feel like a $5 increase, or the increases are appropriate for the cost of those programs?
Yes, they don't like to do many increases, but it's time to do a slight increase for both of these programs.
You do have a scholarship program too, don't you?
Yes, if anybody is enrolled in the federal school lunch program, they just need to give us a letter that they're enrolled with that, and they go for free.
Great. Any other questions for Rick?
And we're always willing to work with people any way we need to.
Thank you for that.
Rick, can I ask a question, Rick? Could clarify?
Yeah, go ahead, Collis.
Rick, did you say that if they're enrolled in school lunch program, they go for free? Is that correct?
That would be correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'd like to make a motion.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
So at this time, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the fee schedule? Fee changes? Okay,
Motion to
seeing
increase-
none, we'll close the public hearing. Now vote.
Motion to increase Parks and Recreation fees for the summer playground camp and youth basketball as recommended by Parks and Recreation Commission and included with the public notice for the public hearing today. Fee increases will be effective 2/27/24.
I'll second that, Kelly.
Motion by Peter, seconded by Collis. Any other questions or comments? Okay, roll call. Collis?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Enjoy your supper.
Yes, I will.
Any chocolates left? No, just kidding.
They're hidden. Thank you.
Bye, thank you. All right, and our second public hearing for the evening is acquisition of land under RSA 41:14-A for Henry Bridge Road, map 27, lot 6-1. Pursuant to RSA 41:14-A, the Goffstown Select Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, February 26th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. and Monday, March 11th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. at Goffstown Town Hall, 16 Main Street, Goffstown, New Hampshire, to accept public input pertaining to the town purchasing vacant property on Henry Bridge Road, map 27, lot 6-1, owned by St. Onge Septic Tank Services Incorporated. The Select Board shall vote on the land acquisition at their next regularly scheduled meeting on Monday, March 25th, 2024.
Can I ask a
Is
question?
that right?
This is March.
That's
This
what
one
it should
says
say.
March, Monday, 11th.
No, it's March, not February. Sorry, go ahead.
Right here, it says March 11th.
Yeah, so that's the date of the two public hearings, and then our vote will be on the 25th.
Right.
The following meeting. Okay, so at this time, we'll open up the public hearing. Does anyone wish to speak on the land acquisitions? Maybe shaking her head no. Danielle's shaking her head no.
Can I just add that the planning board did discuss this at their meeting last week. Their motion was that they have no comment because they do not have enough information to make an informed decision at this time. And Joanne made note that the planning board felt the review of environmental site assessment is imperative before making any decisions on this land. So that was 6-0 and 1 abstention. I understand Selectman Lemay was.
But that was also part of the purchase and sales agreement, was to have,
It was, and yes, and we have reached out to a contractor and they've provided us with their scope of work for that.
Okay, great.
And then the Conservation Commission, because this is a requirement of RSA 4114A, Conservation Commission will discuss this at their meeting this Wednesday, the 28th.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Betty hasn't changed her mind, so with that, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. And just to repeat again, we will have another public hearing on Monday, March 11th at 6:30 PM here at Goffstown Town Hall. Okay. And at this time, we'll have our final public comment of the evening. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak at public comment? Seeing none, we will close public comment and take a motion to go into non-public.
Motion to go into non-public on RSA 91-A:32. And what was the other one, Derek?
It was under E, consideration of litigation.
Second.
Yep.
Motion by Peter, seconded by Mark. Roll call. Collis?
Yes.
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 Great. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us for the public portion
Good night.
of tonight's meeting.
Derek, do you need me to call in again?
No, we're just